Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. It's Friday the 17th of October. Thanks again for watching, and excuse the voice. Of course, it's a man flu that's taken its toll. Of course, nobody's ever had a cold like this, ever, have they? Anyway, moving on. Hurricane Gonzalo is doing its bit at the moment in the Atlantic, heading for Bermuda. In fact, looks like it's going to give a direct hit on Bermuda. This is the latest satellite picture, and there is Bermuda just under here, and there is Hurricane Gonzalo this morning. Look, as the sun rose, as the satellite picture, the visible satellite pictures became available, you can see it quite a big system heading its way slowly northwards and heading towards Bermuda. So it has Bermuda's name written all over it at the moment, and it will be affecting UK shores soon as well. This is the track that the storm is expected to take. This from the National Hurricane Centre on Friday afternoon. And the area of purple here is where tropical storm force winds are expected, and that purple area is basically a 90 to 100% zone. And you can see how, look, over the next few days, this takes us up to the end of, up to the beginning of Wednesday. You can see how that system is tracking into the North Atlantic, and look who's there. Yep, it's good old Blighty and Ireland, and Gonzalo is on its way to us as well during the early part of next week. So that's something that we've got to look forward to, and we can actually see it in the forecast charts at the moment. This is from weatheronline.co.uk. It's from the GFS model. Just watch the time here, look, in the top left hand corner, and you'll be able to see Gonzalo arrive as I go through this sequence. Here it comes into the area just off Newfoundland. Look, there it is at 10 o'clock local time, or 10 o'clock UK time on Sunday morning, and just notice what happens. It gets picked up, heads out into the Atlantic, look, through Monday into Tuesday. It gets deeper on Tuesday. It interacts with cold winds coming in off Greenland, so it actually gets an injection of power again as that cold air gets into it. It deepens, and then it moves through the UK. In fact, I was looking at this with my master's students, my MSc students at Birmingham University yesterday, and we were discussing how Gonzalo would deepen again as it crossed the UK on Tuesday. So a great example of the dynamics of weather at work. Notice as well, look, how close together the isobars are as Gonzalo passes, so some very strong winds are expected, and some heavy rain too as it moves through. But then look what happens. High pressure starting to build in from the south during the second half of next week. Now, this is the 6 o'clock run of the model. The midnight run actually was far more bullish on the high pressure area. The 6 o'clock has toned it down a bit, but what to take from this is there is this general trend, look, towards building pressure from the second half of next week into the week after. And while we're talking about the dynamics of the model, always interesting as well, have a look at the 500 millibar flow. Again, this is from weatheronline.co.uk. Time there in the top left hand corner, GFS model once again. And as we just run this through, watch Gonzalo coming in, look here, as a trough feature into the western parts of the Atlantic. And then just watch what happens as it interacts, look, as it gets involved with this cooler air coming in off Greenland. Just watch what happens, watch how it strengthens as it comes east. There it goes, look, interacts with the cool air, and just look what happens to the trough then. It gets deeper, it gets reinvigorated, it moves through the UK. Remember, you've got cold air there going over the top of warm air that's coming up from the Caribbean, but also over warm water as well, because as we've seen many times before, the Atlantic is well above normal in terms of temperature for the time of year. And then there it goes, look, Gonzalo clearing away towards the east. I love it when the weather works like this. But of course, we've got quite a deep storm towards the west of us just at the moment. This is the analysis chart for this afternoon, and deep area of low pressure out towards the west of Ireland at the moment. Now, as that moves eastwards, it's going to be bringing some pretty heavy bursts of rain during the course of tonight, and also strong winds too, and the winds are already increasing. Take a look at this. This is the wind speed, which is shown in blue here. and the air pressure, which is shown in green, from the weather buoy that is just to the west of Ireland. Let me just zoom in on that one for you. So, sorry, that's not west of Ireland. This is the Scilly's buoy. So this is just here. So that shows, look, the increase in wind speed that has been since this morning at the Scilly buoy. Just look at that increase taking place. Mean speeds now up at about 27 knots, and pressure now starting to fall. So let's take a look at that buoy that is just to the west of Ireland. So we're going to take a look at this one here, and that profile looking very similar as well. Look, this again, wind speed and pressure, and you can see here, look, how those wind speeds increased during the early hours of this morning, continue to increase. We've got a steady gale blowing there, or almost a steady gale now at 33 knot winds, but just look at that fall off in pressure that's taken place as well as the low pressure area is starting to edge its way eastwards. So certainly strong winds and some rain on their way during the course of tonight, and those spreading across the UK. Expect some gusts up to perhaps 60 miles an hour across the east of the UK. So Saturday we see some wet weather across northern England, the Midlands down through southern England as well in the morning. That tracking very, very slowly eastwards to be followed by windy weather and some showers from the west. Always a fair amount of wind around for most tomorrow, but drier weather across eastern areas. Sunday looks like this, low pressure off towards the northwest, strong winds once again with some pretty heavy showers. Monday's breezy, bits and pieces of rain around the west, the east should be drier. Tuesday, that's our Gonzalo day, look, here it comes eastwards, showing just as a series of fronts and some pretty hefty spells of rain moving east. And then into a Wednesday, very interesting to see high pressure look, building down towards the south on Wednesday. Yes, we've got still some gales or severe gale force winds across Scotland and Northern Ireland, and some rain there as well, but it's this high that's of interest because, as I say, pressure looks as if it is going to build. And if we just look finally at the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow, this is the ECMWF on the left here, this is the GFS on the right, and this is the period from next Friday through until Monday the 27th. And you see here, look, these red and orange colours building across the UK on both of those models and into much of Europe as well. Strong jet stream though towards the north, really enhanced jet stream towards the north of the UK. So I do think that probably the northern half of Scotland, may even be the whole of Scotland itself, could be into some very windy conditions with some pretty heavy bursts of rain. All the indications are of pressure trying to build down towards the south. And interesting to see as well this trough feature on both models as well, just north of the Azores, because if that undercuts, it will build the high northwards and makes that into a dominant feature at the end of the month. Of course, I've been talking about high pressure building for some time. Yes, it didn't build on the 17th as 18th as was expected. It's been a few days later, but certainly looks as if there is some sort of build taking place. So I'll leave you for that for now. Wow, that was a bit of a long one, wasn't it? I'm going to take my man flu with me and wish you a good weekend and ask you to keep the sun shining. So whatever you're doing, have a great time, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.